Welcome to the 7 Point Play, the official podcast of the Sullivan Logistics WAFL. 7 talking points from around the league, the ATCO WAFLW and the EGT Colts every round. Big thank you to Amy for their support of the podcast as a major partner of WA Footy, supporting football at all levels. And if you haven't got your tickets already, make sure you go to the WAFL website and book in for this Saturday at Sullivan Logistics Stadium, where the men's and the women's state teams are taking on the Sandful and the under-18s take on the under-20s in a showcase of young draftable talent. All right, let's do this.
Right foot banana by Cartwright. He's won the game, has he?
It's at the top! Semi-quick!
And the siren. They've done it, the Bulldogs. The red collar Bulldogs.
This is the 7 Point Play. My name is Nick Rynne, joined today by a very special guest out of East Fremantle captain, WA representative this weekend, and product of the famous Northampton football factory, Tiani Teakle. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Nick. Looking forward to it.
All right, well, let's get straight into it. Our first point is we want to know a little bit about you and about the Sharks and the program and how it's going. So, first of all, tell us about your football journey. It's a famous family name now, straight up in Northampton.
Yeah, I grew up in Geraldton, which was awesome, a little country town up there. Played all my junior footy for Northampton as well. Was lucky enough to play all the way up to under 14s. I was playing with the boys until then, which was pretty cool. 2021, I was finally old enough to play with the women's comp they had going up there. And played in a premiership in 2021 with my sister with Northampton, so that was awesome.
It's awesome.
Definitely, big highlight. And then, that was my last year up in Geraldton. And so, made the move down to Perth, started 2022, joined East Fremantle, started in the Rogers there. Because that's the kind of club affiliated with the Midwest zone. So, straight to East Fremantle, which was awesome. I was lucky enough to make my debut in my first year. That was pretty exciting. And then, been at East Free, I think this is my 5th year now. So, been loving it.
That's a long time. And that's the good thing about the WAFLW is if you're good enough, you're old enough in that competition. You say you've been playing there for 5 years.
Yeah.
And you're only, 19 now?
Yeah, 19.
My God.
Yeah.
And now, so you mentioned playing with your sister in a flag up there. Julia's now at Port Adelaide. Yeah. How's she doing over there?
Yeah, really good, Obviously, it was a bit sad to see her go. She, went over there in 2022, so she's been over there for a while now. She's thriving over there, got a really good support network and stuff, was the vice-captain last year. So, I think she's slotted in really well.
God, what's this? You guys have got leadership in your bones or something? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I don't know what's going on.
And your cousin Bryn has been on a couple of lists himself. So there's a lot of talk about Northampton. I can't remember the number off the top of my head of players who've gone on to represent, not represent their town, but play at the elite level. What is it about that town and the support system around it and the environment that creates good footballers? Yeah,
it is, talked about a little bit. I definitely think it's, just a good country community feel. I think, everyone up there either is involved with footy somewhat, so I think it just creates a really good environment. Everyone loves their footy up there. And there's something that they say, there's a bit of lead in the water, but I don't think that's a good thing.
I think that's helping.
It's pretty awesome and super, super proud to kind of come from up there.
And we mentioned this off air before, but I always got to slot in Selby Lee Steer from Northampton, who's won 2 AFL fantasy competitions. So we'll just slot him. He's like a category below, but we'll keep him in the mix.
Yeah, I actually didn't know that, but that's awesome.
Yeah, mate. See, it's like footy brains. You know?
Yeah.
Now, East Fremantle, you were elevated to captain this year at 19, which is very young. It's been a tough time, no doubt, for the women's program. We saw a lot of exits at the end of last year. There's a lot of bickering, a lot of infighting, which sort of made its way out into the greater footy ecosystem.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about how it felt going through that process? Obviously, Ash Gomes, who's been a very big part of the Sharks for the entire time you were there, Maddie Evans, Tash Entwistle, all sort of departed the club, as well as the coach moved on. You brought in a new system around it. Can you tell us how it felt going through that and how you thought or why you thought, I'm happy to take the responsibility to lead the next phase of whatever this is?
Yeah, sure. Definitely end of last year. There was, a bit of stuff that went down, but obviously was a bit challenging at the time. And, to lose some of those girls, some of my great mates, which sucked a bit, especially, Gomesy. She was the captain of the club for a long time, but just got a huge amount of respect for her and learn a lot from her as well during my time at East Fremantle. I can also appreciate that, footy clubs, it's not always going to be smooth sailing and there can also be ups and downs and things. Looking forward into the new year, I think, there's been a bit of a turnover, but I'm, really excited with the new coach, David Eames. He's been great, and also some of the players we've brought in. The actual vibe and feel around the club now, I think it's, moving in a really positive direction.
And how has the club administration sort of addressed some of the issues that were the tension between the club as a whole and the women's program? What are some of the things that have happened to try and mend those bridges?
I don't know a heap, to be honest. I try not get involved too much with that behind the scenes and kind of, just focus on the playing group and what I can kind of do for the players. I think just ensuring the players feel, welcome and supported, and that we are going to, be a really good club moving forwards and, try and kind of leave this stuff in the past, I think.
And what was the phone call like when they said, or was it a meeting where they said, we want you to be captain? Did you have to think about it, or is it straight away like, I want to do this?
Definitely was an exciting time. We kind of did the votes quite early, end of last year. I wasn't kind of thinking it a heap since being quite young. Got the phone call from Darcy, who was our operations manager at the time. And I was pretty taken back. I kind of thought it would be a huge opportunity for myself and kind of leading the girls in this new young era. Was super honoured and super privileged to have that kind of title. And I've really been enjoying it so far, learning lots, which has been good.
How have you felt about the first 7 weeks? You guys have claimed a big scalp on the weekend by taking down Claremont, which is, we obviously know what Claremont have done over the last 4 or 5 years. How do you feel about the group at the moment and how you've started the season? And what is the additions like Mac Webb, who obviously came across and was one of the best against her old side on the weekend? How is everything sitting at the moment?
Yeah, definitely. It's been a bit of a chaotic start to the year. Was a pretty disappointing loss in round 1 against South Fremantle. But looking forward for the second derby, which is coming up soon. Since then we've gained a bit of momentum, which has been really good. I think out of we've won our 3 games, and we had a bye in there as well, which is really exciting, building a bit of momentum and confidence for the girls. And then, the game on the weekend was really awesome to be a part of. It was a really good game. And, like you said, Claremont are, back-to-back premiers at the moment, huge team, and they've got a great list. So to get the win against them was awesome. Really proud of the girls. And Mac Webb, she's been awesome. What she brings on field has been really incredible. Just her attack off half back, but then also off field, she's really fit in seamlessly with the girls, and also brings really great leadership, slotted straight into our leadership group. So can't have enough praise for Mac Webb.
Now, for yourself personally, what's next for you? You've obviously been through the process and sort of missed out on the AFL draft. Is that still the goal?
Maybe, I think. Definitely, if an opportunity arose, would probably grab it with both hands. But, also happy with East Fremantle at the moment and what we're building with this young group we have, which I think is really exciting. So, kind of just take it as it comes.
Now, next thing in line for you, let's get over our next point, which is the state game. So the WAFLW taking on the Sandfield W this Saturday at Sullivan Logistics Stadium. Yeah. Congratulations, got the call up.
Yeah, thank you.
What have you guys done to prepare, and what are you expecting from SA?
Definitely. It's been really exciting coming together. We've been training for a couple of weeks now, which has been really good. I think, we got a really good mix of experience, but then also young players. I think SA, they'll be coming in pretty confident after a win against Vic. But then, also I think our girls, after losing last year by such a small margin, I think the girls are pretty keen to have a really red-hot crack at SA, so I'm looking forward to it.
Anyone that you think we should be keeping an eye out from what you've seen at training and what you've seen already this season? Who do you think are going to be the WA players who are going to pop off?
Could say everyone. Yeah, I think we've got a really good squad. I'll have to say Jamie Henry, like we mentioned earlier, she's had a really good start to the year, and I think she'll really thrive on this bigger stage. Another one is Lisa Steen. She's also had a really good start to the year.
Medalist last year in the same fixture.
Exactly. So I think she'll be up for another big game. And then I'll also shout out my 2 East Freo teammates, Mac Webb, like we mentioned before, and also Jay Flynn. They both have a bit of AFLW experience. And, I love playing with them down in the back line. I think we work together really well. So, I'll be keen to see how they go.
Bit of a Sharks connection down back on the weekend, eh?
Yeah, should be good.
Just on Jamie Henry, you've now sort of been training with her through the state program.
Yeah.
What have you noticed that she's obviously disappointed to miss out on the pre-season draft the other day? We spoke about her. There's not a lot more she can do. Like, what have you noticed about her evolution over the years as someone who's sort of played against her for a while now?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've known Jamie for a while. Had a bit to do with her in the state 18s as well. So, I think she's just had a massive off-season and taken her game to another level, clearly. I think it's just her work rate. Never stops, is always doing extras and things. So, it's great to see her really going well, and I'm excited to play with her this weekend.
And now let's review the men's side of the game. So they're going for 2 in a row after last year's breakthrough.
Yeah.
Have you got anyone that you're keeping half an eye on there? And probably some East Freo people maybe?
Yeah, don't know a heap of the guys, but hopefully the East Freo guys go well. Kyle Baskerville and Jared Jansen, so hopefully they can have a good one. And another win would be awesome for them. Yeah,
and there's a few that I'm sort of keeping an eye on. So Kane Bevan, who's getting in for his first senior state appearance, he was... Not that this was the corresponding fixture last year, but there was an under-20s versus under-18 showcase last year where he was a story out of there.
Yeah.
Has been playing really well at West Perth, but and he's in the mix for some mid-season draft. There's a bit of chatter about him already. He has been doing all he can at West Perth, but it's been a tough environment this season. They haven't really clicked yet. And even last year there was a coaching change mid-season and it was sort of in and out. So I'm looking forward to seeing him on a big stage with sort of the best around him and what he can do. We've seen people have a really big game in these fixtures previously to mount a case for the mid-season selection. So he's one. And William Reedy just is kicking goals for fun out at Swan District. So I'm kind of excited to see what he can do in this system as well. And then speaking of mid-season draft prospects, I think Oliver Eastland is a ruck who's well suited to where the game's going. I think at AFL level, we know what he can do here in the WAFL. He can win hit-outs, he can move around the ground, he can kick goals. Like, he's ticked every box he can at WAFL level, except playing in a flag. But that's Claremont haven't had the greatest run of success there or luck. So if he can have a big game, and he's probably splitting the duties with Scott Jones, maybe we'd expect. Sky's the limit really. But I'd like more people to get a good look at him. And then obviously the day starts with the under 18s versus the under 20s. So we roll through those names a lot. We don't really need to go through a lot of them now. But the likes of George Gale, who started the Colts season really well and been a really strong performer in all the trials. He's one I'm keen to see what happens this time around.
Yeah, it should be a great day out.
No, it's going to be massive. And there's a bit of excitement about, I know that playing at Optus Stadium's nice, but when these games are played there, or Adelaide Oval even, it's so early in the day before an AFL game. It's a bit of an empty stadium.
Yeah,
what are you expecting atmosphere-wise? We're thinking we're expecting a fair few people to get down there in the stands. You looking forward to it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, hopefully there's a pretty decent crowd there. Should be good. And I feel like that'll really just boost the vibe of the state game, being at just a WAFL ground. But should be awesome.
Yeah, I think the grand finals we've seen at WAFL grounds have been unreal. So I think this could be a great day. Quick break to say thank you to our sponsors, Construction Training Fund, supporting WA's construction workforce by providing funding for apprentices, tradies and employers. Search CTF for more details. Now let's go over to one of the talking points from the weekend from the WAFL competition. So South Fremantle don't need a lot of help in terms of unearthing 1-point players from their own list. But they found another one up forward. So Trey Rusco's out injured. He's going to be away for a bit of the season later as well. Cooper Clark-Darian came up for his first league game of the year, and he walked away with 5 goals in a best on-ground performance against West Coast. So he's a 21-year-old out of Donnybrook. He's played 1 Colts game for Peel when he was younger, then went back to the Southwest Footy League, and then he emerged last year in the Resi. Actually, he's probably not a 1-point player if he came out of Peel, but he's not that expensive. He came back last year to South Fremantle, played a lot of Resi's games, played a couple of league games, but without sort of cementing a spot. So he came in and went bananas. 5 goals, outstanding performance, rocking the headband as well, which is always a good look.
Yeah, awesome.
And gets a chance to really stake a claim in the absence of Trey Rusco, who we know is one of the better performers in the league side. How much pressure do you feel coming into a side? And it might be the same with the state game, really, or anytime someone comes up from the Rogers to the league, you're expecting just to like do your role, but when someone comes out of the gates and puts in a starring performance, it kind of gets everybody up and about of it, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. 5 goals is a huge effort. I think, it just shows how important it is to take your moments, no matter what level you're playing at. But yeah, huge for him.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what he can do over the next few weeks. It's a good start. He's put the pressure on himself now. Let's see what he can back up with. So let's go over to Swan Districts, where their league side chalked up their second win of the year, and they're another one in the same boat. They had a lot of turnover at the end of last year, and they've taken a little while to get going, but it seems like things are clicking, and particularly on the weekend it really clicked. They're starting to come together. So they beat the Sharks.
Yeah, unfortunately.
105-63. And there's 2 players I want to talk about out of this side. The first is Jovan Petrick. He's a 21-year-old recruited out of Williamstown as a promising key forward. He started well enough. He's been okay and contributed without really hitting the scoreboard. But then he kicked 4 on the weekend to really get going. So there were big things expected of him this year from within the 4 walls of Bassendean, and we're starting to see what he's capable of. And then the second is Clint Hinchcliffe, which is he's just an unbelievable story. So it shows how old I was. I was covering his draft year for the paper back in the day, where he was balancing cricket and footy. Decided to go out for footy and sort of missed out draft-wise. Went down the cricket path. He played in the BBL a fair bit. He was around the cricket circles for a long time. And then he came back and played a bit of Amos footy. And then finally, so they convinced him to come back and try the WAFL again. So this was a decade between his Colts year and his return this year. But he slotted in really well into the midfield. So again, he's not one. He was like a lucky or a nice to have. So weren't expecting him to come in and be an absolute superstar, but he's tracking really well. So average 22 touches, just slotted in seamlessly. It looks like he never left, really. Yeah. And then he had a really good game on the weekend to help him get that win. So it shows that premierships and success and path back up the ladder isn't always just built on top end talent. You can find them from anywhere, can't you? Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, I think in the PFL and the Perth Footy League, there's lots of hidden talent in there. I think the WAFL and the WAFLW are both finding that. You can always find a couple of gems that are just hiding in the amateur league. But
Well, I think the WAFLW has been really good as well as finding the sort of dual sport athletes who translate to footy pretty quickly. Yeah. Did you play? You obviously played footy whole way up. Did you have other sports that you were doing at the same time?
Growing up, played a bit of everything. Mainly footy, and then basketball and netball as well. Played a fair bit of growing up, which I really enjoyed. But yeah. Yeah,
well, and is there anyone in your team who's sort of come fresh from a new sport? I think there's a lot at Perth because they're obviously building their list from scratch.
Yeah, there's a fair few. I think Jay Flynn, she used to play NBL 1 for Lakeside.
Nice.
So, she used to be a basketballer. Even volleyball, I think she did. And then, lots of girls played netball growing up and then, have come across to footy.
Yeah, it's a pretty well-worn path at this stage, the old sort of netball to footy.
Definitely.
So she's got, anyway, Swan District's going really well. It's good to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
Now, talking about the WAFLW and talking about Perth specifically, Poppy Stockwell is a player I want to talk about. She was South Fremantle forward, and then last year she was an injury top-up at Fremantle, and I thought she performed really well across the chances, the opportunities that she got. Probably surprised, not surprised, delisting at the end of the season, given that she was an injury replacement. But she came back. She didn't go back to South. She's come back to Perth this season. And again, she's been a strong performer. She was, through the whole pre-season, they were talking about her as sort of one to watch. Been strong. And then on the weekend against East Perth, she kicked 3 goals, 4, and again was best on ground there. So you've probably had to mark Poppy a bit over the journey, or you handball that to someone else?
Oh, a couple times, I think. But she's had a great start. Definitely a huge talent. Doesn't need much of the footy either. When she does have it, she can really damage on the scoreboard. So she's always one to watch when we come up against them.
What do you think? What kind of attributes sort of contribute to her success, and what are the ones that if you're doing a scout of her, what are you most worried about?
Probably, just her like explosiveness, I think. Once she gets the ball, if it's forward of the centre, I think she's very dangerous. Has a great leg as well. Can almost kick him from anywhere, which makes it pretty difficult.
She's going really well. And again, another one. She's 22 now, but I think she keeps stacking performances, and we've seen what she can do at AFLW level. She's not out of her depth at all. So prospects there for the future as well. And now we'll wrap it up. He had a bit of coverage already over the weekend, but we've got to mention it again because we can get 50 touches and break a competition disposal record. You deserve to be spoken about a fair bit. Noah Braun. So he's a Claremont Colts player. He's the son of Michael Braun, former West Coast player, and eligible as a father-son. He's come out on the weekend and had 50. He was initially 52, and then Champion Data Review dogged him a little bit.
Oh, no. Stripped him back a couple.
At least he stayed above the 50 line, which is the important part. And he had 10 clearances in there, 2 goals, and he looked $1 million. And he's been a player who has been a solid contributor for them, played in the Colts Premiership last year. Been good, but without being probably a step below some of the better kids, and he's outside of the under-18s program as well. But he's certainly going to be knocking down the door now, and if any spots become available, 50 and 2 goals is a fair audition, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely, a huge game, and would love to see him get an opportunity in the state 18s.
Yeah, well, I think this is where, and we see this across all the competitions, where at the moment, these people here, he would have been 4th or 5th in line in the Claremont midfield, but the under-18s playing the trial games and the PSA system started up. So there's opportunity there because there's a lot of clean air, I suppose. So he's absolutely grabbed that. And we talked about Thatcher Simmons last weekend at Subiaco doing similar. And I suppose that's where people get a chance to shine. If you get your opportunity, you've got to take it, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
All right, and that's been us for today. Big thank you to our sponsor before we get out, Tumble Coffee Roasters. You can order online at tumblecoffeeroasters.com.au. They do a very good brew down there. Old Lee Kitchen at Subiaco, or former Subiaco player, knows what he's doing in the coffee sense. So big thank you to Tumble Coffee. And thank you very much, Tiani, for coming in and having a chat to us today. And best of luck in the state game. Excited to see what it looks like.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.
That's been the 7 Point Play this week. Make sure to catch every game of the Sullivan Logistics WAFL live and free across 7 Mate, and 7+ this season, plus all the ATCO WAFLW and EGT Colts streamed live on the WAFL YouTube page. Just go to YouTube and search for WAFL. This podcast was recorded on the lands of the Whadjuk people of the Noongar Nation. We pay our respects to their elders past, present and emerging.